Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Falcon Update, live on YBTV. I'm PJ Rydell.
And I'm Reed Milliken.
Taking a look at Messiah's COVID-19 dashboard, Messiah currently has 28 active cases and 45 recovered. 73.7% of the on-campus population is fully vaccinated.
Have you noticed that dining services is hiring? Let's go to Paul Calendar to find out why.
You've heard it once, you've heard it a million times. A lot of things are changing because of the coronavirus pandemic we're currently experiencing right now. One of those things might be Lottie Nelson Dining Hall. Last year we had to go, but this year you'll notice there's no one else behind the counter here and I have to serve my own food. The biggest reason behind that? Understaffing. Including self-service lines, Lottie Nelson Dining Hall has also been using disposable dishware. This is a result of an understaffing issue felt all across dining services at Messiah.
The hospitality industry as a whole is experiencing a shortage of employees. I know that all of my fellow directors and the consortium of colleges that I work within are all experiencing these shortages. Some
student workers are even working twice the amount that they're supposed to.
Thanks, have a good day. It's not just one thing we have to do at every station. You know, there's multiple things. Right now I'm pouring this mocha into the cup, but on my right there's this register that I'm supposed to be charged of as well.
In an effort to fix the situation, dining services raised the pay from minimum wage up to $9 an hour.
As industries around us are increasing rates to try to be attractive to employees and attain more, we're trying to do the same.
But as admissions numbers go down, so do student employee numbers.
Our largest pool of students often come from first-year students, and we have a much smaller first-year class that came in this year. So there's less students even in the pool to start with.
Despite these difficulties, the morale is there for students behind the counter and for dining services.
It's definitely the best place to work. I mean, I've been here for just about a year, and I wouldn't go anywhere else.
It's also a Christian atmosphere to work in, which is by far, I think, more supportive of what the students are looking to do in an employment situation. You go off campus to some other locations to work and it's just not the same atmosphere.
The state of dining services is certainly different now as a result of the pandemic and the hiring crisis going on, but customers should come to expect the same amount of quality service that they've always gotten, with a couple plastic forks here and there. For YBTV, I'm Paul Calendar.
Thanks, Paul. Last week, students bundled up to congregate and worship in 6 hours of prayer. Let's go to Josh McLeaf for more.
It's fall at Messiah, but dropping temperatures didn't stop students from lifting their voices in praise this past Wednesday.
There in the silence and mystery.
So this is 6 hours of prayer. We titled it Reset, and it's just a time for students to reset their lives, their thoughts, their academics to God, and just a time to sit in prayer and praise with God. I think people forget that even though it's a Christian campus, that a lot of people here don't believe in Christ, and a lot of people here also don't have strong relationships. I know at times I'm included in that category. It's been a really good turnout. We've had a lot more than I expected, especially with being so cold, and we still had people come out. I've gotten pretty much good feedback and just how much it blesses people. And it's funny because we were praying about this last night, that people can't even go to class without hearing or praising the name of Jesus, which is super cool and the whole point of the event.
However, worship won't stop at the end of the fall semester.
Hopefully we'll keep doing it as long as logistics provide. The goal is next semester, but we're going to see the availability and just the logistics of it.
Where would I hide that you wouldn't see?
For YBTV,
Ready or not, you would come for me.
I'm Josh McLeaf.
Ready or not, you would come.
Thanks, Josh. SAB held a fall coffee house on the Union stage on Sunday night. The Union was packed with students supporting their friends and peers as they performed up on stage. Robert Glakowski performed Bohemian Rhapsody with a little twist. Students can be seen singing along while Glakowski played the piano.
So I just played Bohemian Rhapsody on the piano, or at least my rendition of it, because I really like the song a lot, but I'm incapable of playing and singing at the same time, so I invited the audience to sing along with me, and it created this very magical moment up there. And I thought that was very necessary and wholesome for a coffee house concert, so that's why I decided to do that.
There are plenty of show-stopping performances, aspiring singers, bands, and musicians at SAB's Fall Coffee House. The night ended with a dance performance by Hannah Lim.
The Pulse released the November edition of the Swinging Bridge magazine on Friday afternoon. The stands were decorated with balloons, posters, and of course, the magazine. This month's cover featured their story, Ring by Spring, a false cliche or harmful reality. Copies are still available and can be picked up for free in the stands located in Fry, Boyer, Jordan, Murray Library, and the Union and outside of Lottie.
On Friday night, students gathered inside the Union for Asian Student Association's celebration of Diwali, the Festival of Lights. Many came in traditional South Asian dress, adding vibrant color to the event. Students got to paint small pots called votives, get henna done, and enjoy food from the Indian culture.
Did you know that caribou means welcome in Swahili? On Saturday night, the African Student Union held an event called Caribou. The event kicked off with a flag procession showcasing all of the African countries represented at Messiah. After a brief word of prayer, attendees were treated to authentic African food, followed by a night of dancing and other performances. Music, cultural dances, and spoken word were some of the many featured acts that took stage.
I decided to come here because I'm a missionary kid from Kenya in East Africa. I have lived there since I was 7 years old, and my parents are still there working at a hospital.
The earnings from ticket sales will go towards funding a scholarship for an African student.
Don't go away. We'll be right back with more Falcon Update after the break.
The nursing program at Messiah College prepared me in multiple ways. It really just helped me grow in my faith, first of all, but also the nursing program at Messiah College prepared me in multiple ways. It really just helped me grow in my faith, first of all, but also in my vocation. I have found that adjusting to the work environment has been easier, and I feel that it was very much to do with Messiah College's nursing program.
The simulation labs here at Messiah, the ones that we used as students, are very comparable to the local hospitals.
My first job offer was here during a shadowing experience through the college. I interviewed and I pretty much got the job offer right there.
What I really like about Messiah students is that they look at nursing as a profession and a career, and they tend to do very, very well.
The fact that we are CCNE accredited says that we are engaged in effective educational practices. This means that the student who comes to Messiah College can be assured of receiving the highest quality nursing education, and that their degree will be recognized by top healthcare organizations and graduate programs.
A lot of the relationships that I have with my classmates are very, very special. Nursing can be challenging, and so it's very nice to have friends that know what you're going through. One thing at Messiah College, which is really great, is how the Christian faith is brought into almost every part of your college career. In a lot of the classes, you have sometimes a devotional, or it's integrated into the course curriculum somehow.
The faculty at Messiah cared for me as a learner and as a person. They poured time and energy into me and supported me in my troubles and shared in my successes.
Come visit, set up a time where you can meet up with a professor, sit in on a class. It's a great way to see what Messiah College is all about, and just an overall amazing experience.
watching YBTV.
Welcome back to the Falcon Update on YBTV. For this week's Bird's Eye View, we got to the root of the issue. Here's Paul Callender with more.
My name is Paul Callender. Here's a bird's eye view of the Grantham Community Garden. The Office of Sustainability grows all sorts of crazy stuff in this community garden here, including, we got some radishes going on here. Let's go ahead and try these out for the camera. And fitting with the season, the Office of Sustainability even grew pumpkins with varying degrees of success, but that's still pretty cool. Today I'm joined by Gus Rowland right here. Gus is a regular volunteer here at the garden for the Office of Sustainability. Tell me about, what do you like about this?
One of my favorite things about the garden is just getting outside for, it's only an hour on Wednesday afternoons, but just getting us outside, getting a break from your school, and especially just hanging out with the other volunteers. If you're alone, I'm sure it would get boring, but you always have somebody to chat to.
Well, there you go, folks. That was a bird's eye view of the Grantham Community Garden. For YBTV, I'm Paul Callender.
Thanks, Paul. Let's send it to Paul Callender again with this week's campus calendar.
I'm Paul Callender, bringing you this week's campus calendar. Throughout the week, lots of events are happening, such as classes in the Falcon Fitness Center and Bible studies hosted by student ministries. Not to mention, you'll also want to stop by the upper lobby of Climenhagen to help Steve Prince create a large charcoal drawing based on the theme of the urban garden. It's sure to be something you'll have to see for yourself. Tomorrow, check out the Evening Chapel, I Am Strong, The Life and Journey of an Autistic Pastor, hosted by special guest Lamar Hardwick at 7 o'clock in Hofstadter Chapel. If you can't make it to the Evening Chapel, you can also catch him in speaking at the regular scheduled morning chapel. Are vaccine mandates ethical? Find out what Messiah students think of this week's Philosophy Club meeting at 4:30 and Boyer 2:30. Next up on Wednesday, PA State Representative Brian Sims will be visiting the MU Democrats Club, talk about the intersection of identity and politics. Stop by Fry 156 at 7 o'clock to hear him speak. If you've ever wanted to meet Jasper the puppy, make sure to stop by on Thursday from 12 to 2 outside Murray Library for warm beverages and a warm welcome from Messiah's favorite puppy, hosted by Minds Matter. Thursday night is also the first showing of the Theater and Dance Department's rendition of the Shakespearean play Much Ado About Nothing at 8 p.m. Reserve tickets now for Thursday to Sunday on the Theater Department's website. This Friday also starts off with Lost film showings for this week. Check out the Alfred Hitchcock classic Vertigo at 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock p.m. on Friday and Saturday night. On Saturday, if you're into records as much as I am, join SAB on the record store crawl at 9:45 a.m. Make sure to sign up at the SAB office to reserve your spot. And with that...
Thanks again, Paul. Christmas is just around the corner, and some people are already getting into the holiday spirit. It's Riley Williams with this week's Falcon on the Street.
On this week's episode of Falcon on the Street, we're finding out when people think it is an acceptable time to start listening to Christmas music.
There is a right answer. It is after Thanksgiving. Please respect Thanksgiving.
Hello. I would say that an appropriate time to listen to Christmas music would be after Thanksgiving.
Okay, I feel like an acceptable time would be like mid-November. I know some people start like very beginning of November, but I'd say like mid. Maybe after Thanksgiving.
I would say the best time to start listening to Christmas music is when you feel like you need it. Because Christmas music just evokes so much happiness into people. So whenever you feel like you need like a little boost, I think it's appropriate. Yeah.
I think Christmas music should be started the week of Thanksgiving because I don't understand how people can be celebrating Halloween and then the next day be listening to Christmas music that's all about Jesus and the holiday of family and everything. And also, everyone keeps skipping over Thanksgiving, hence why we should give Thanksgiving a break and then get to Christmas music.
I think that listening to Christmas music should ramp up after Thanksgiving, and then you can full send it as soon as December 1st hits. That is when it's acceptable to listen to Christmas music.
That's all for this week's episode. Make sure to stay tuned for next week's episode of Falcon on the Street. For YBTV, I'm Riley Williams.
Thanks, Riley. However, we certainly won't see a winter wonderland this week, Thank goodness. Here's Chris Blakeman with the Falcon Forecast.
Welcome back to this week's Falcon Forecast. I'm Chris Blakeman. This week will feel slightly warmer than last week with temperatures in the mid-60s, but don't expect it to feel like spring just yet. Today is a high of 66 degrees and a low of 37 and is currently 50 degrees. Both Tuesday and Wednesday this week will be partly cloudy with highs in the 60s. Tuesday will have a high of 68 and a low of 46, and Wednesday will have a high of 64 and a low of 40. Thursday will be cloudy all day, but will be slightly warmer than the previous 2 days, with a high of 62 and a low of 55. Get ready for rain to start the weekend. Friday is a high of 62 and a low of 40 degrees, sprinkled with a few small showers throughout the day, up to about a quarter of an inch. Saturday will start to feel colder than the rest of the week, getting to a high of 53 degrees and a low of 34 and a 40% chance of rain in the afternoon. It'll start to feel more like November. Sunday is partly cloudy with a high of 48 and a low of 31, bringing us into next week. That's all for this week's Falcon Forecast. Back to the anchor desk.
Thanks, Chris. After the break, we'll be back with news on Messiah Athletics. Stay tuned for more Falcon Update.
My name is Nathan Sims. I'm a junior at Messiah, and I'm a double major in both film and media arts and Spanish. I grew up making films as a kid. I saw that Messiah had a film program, and so when I visited, I just thought this is the perfect fit. Both the theory and practical considerations here have really increased my skill set, not just in a technical sense, but also from a theoretical perspective as well. I think the biggest piece that I'll add to my portfolio before I graduate is the final film for the junior and senior film project. That'll probably be my crowning achievement because I'm working with so many other artists and other film majors, and it's just been a really great opportunity so far. I think I'm most excited to use skills I've learned in documentary class. I have to make ethical decisions in every step of the process to really come up with a strong and truthful way to tell someone else's story. I think my professors have done a really great job of being strong examples for what combining your faith and your ethics with an art form like film, what that looks like. And so the interactions have almost always been positive because they're really invested in what their students are learning. One of my most valuable experiences was my internship, where I was able to actually apply what I learned in the classroom to the real world, and I think that's a completely invaluable experience. Personally, I did my internship with the Department of Natural Resources in Maryland. One of my favorite experiences at Messiah so far has actually been the Splice Film Festival, which allows students to submit their own personal work, and being able to share the art that I created as well as my fellow classmates was absolutely beautiful. I think the market right now is very open for film and media arts majors. There's a lot of different ways that you can plug in, both at nonprofits, at regular organizations. I worked in the government, and so I think there are absolutely a lot of opportunities.
You're watching YBTV live on YouTube. Check out our channel after the show for more great content from Messiah University.
It should be fun. I love s'mores.
Me too. Especially on a campfire.
The best.
Golden brown.
So people ask me what kind of companies hire electrical and computer engineers. Basically, if you plug it in or it has a battery in it, electrical engineers were involved. Every Messiah engineering student is guaranteed an internship with an on-campus organization called the Collaboratory. The Collaboratory's business model is that it pairs student teams with either faculty mentors or outside professionals to work on systems that either care for the earth or help disadvantaged people around the world. One of our more successful projects is a project that involves facilitating use of limited electric power called EMMS.
So I am the student project manager of the EMMS team, and so what that means is that I head up a team of students and industry volunteers who are developing a system that makes it possible for schools and medical clinics to be able to efficiently share their limited solar power resources. Just the faculty and the way that they interact with the students to help them grow is such a powerful thing.
watching Falcon Update on YBTV.
Welcome back to Falcon Update, live on YBTV.
Messiah Swimming took over Arcadia over the weekend. The men fell to Arcadia 148-108, but the women defeated Arcadia 153-109. The men's team falls to a 2-2 record, while the women remain undefeated at 4-0. Messiah Swimming's next meet will be on Saturday, November 13th, against Lycoming College.
All of Messiah's fall sports teams competed in the MAC Commonwealth Playoffs this past week. I sat down with Messiah's Athletics Director of Communications, Matthew Fenton, to recap each team's season and MAC Commonwealth playoff run. The lights were on, the scoreboard was lit, and the fans were back as Messiah Fall Sports returned to regular season play for the first time since the fall of 2019.
Really, it was awesome to have everybody back out on the field. Really just a banner fall across the boards.
A banner year it was, as all of Messiah's fall sports advanced to the MAC Commonwealth Conference playoffs. For the cross-country team, the season resulted in a MAC Commonwealth Championship.
Both the men and women ran really well throughout the year. The men obviously culminating their year with a MAC Championship. They're third in the last 4 years. Logan Horst obviously was fantastic, winning the men's title. But the women had a great showing as well. Top 5 finish for them.
Women's volleyball ended the season strong on a 9-game win streak before falling in the MAC Commonwealth semifinals to Eastern University.
They got better throughout the year. They were doing all the right things well and really showed that they can play and compete and win with anybody in the conference. You know, they took down Eastern in 5 sets and handed Eastern their only conference loss of the regular season.
Messiah Field Hockey finished another successful season with a MAC Commonwealth Championship, their 14th straight.
Falcons really, have done what they've done over the last, couple of decades, few decades around here. Really been the class of the conference. Regionally ranked, they've been in the top 10 or 12 all season long. A couple of tough losses against some really tough teams. They've had some tremendous play so far during the regular season.
Messiah women's soccer finished the season on a 12-game win streak, a 12-game shutout streak, and with a MAC Commonwealth Championship.
Women's soccer, obviously coming into the year, big expectations. They're the defending national champs from 2019. And you start off the year with the team you beat in the national championship game in 2019 against William Smith. You're on a 4-2 win, feel great. A couple of tough games for the Falcons early in the season, but they've been building strong ever since. Kind of propelled their way into the conference championship tournament, not allowing a lot of goals. When the team can't score, they can't win too often.
Messiah men's soccer finished undefeated in the conference and went on to win the MAC Commonwealth Championship in an overtime thriller over Lebanon Valley College.
Yeah, men's soccer played some great ball this year. Really competitive from start to finish. Across the board, they're one of the better sides in the country. One of the best offensive attacks in the country and one of the best defenses in the country. I think they're top 10 in both of those categories this year. People are a little nervous when they're stepping onto the pitch to take on Messiah.
Reporting for YBTV, I'm PJ Rydell.
Coming up, Messiah Field Hockey will take on Stevens on Wednesday, and men's and women's soccer will play during the upcoming weekend. Be sure to keep checking GoMessiah.com and tuning into YBTV to see how the Falcons fare in the NCAA playoffs.
That's all for this week's Falcon Update. Tune in next Monday to see what's happening at Messiah. For Reed Milliken, myself, and our other fantastic reporters, thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for YB Tonight.
There's something about the forest. Hiking through the woods, looking up to the treetops. Pitching a tent under the stars. Rising at dawn to chase a brook trout. Forests bring people together. Feed the soul and improve our well-being. Cleaning the air we breathe, the water we need, and making our climate livable. Now more than ever, forests matter. We need them. They need us. Fires and natural disasters devastate our forests each year. That's why the Arbor Day Foundation is working to replant millions of trees across the country. Trees are one thing we can all agree on. The time to act is now, so that generations today and tomorrow can continue to depend on our forests. The forest needs us. Visit arborday.org and see how you can help.
MC77 is now officially rebranded as Yellow Breeches TV.
I'm Lily. I am a junior, and I am a broadcasting and media production major at Messiah. I chose to be a broadcasting and media production major because as a little girl, I dreamt of being a TV anchor. There are so many opportunities you can have as a broadcasting major. Messiah is really unique in the fact that we have our own TV station, and it's student-led, so each week we have Falcon Update, which is a half hour, and then we have MC Live, which is a half hour as well. My favorite part is just being in the hustle and bustle of everything, and I'm really excited to just be creative when I'm putting together news packages or shooting other stories, just really getting every element of storytelling in my work. So we have a lot of faith-based projects. Right now we're working on one, it's called Faith Sides for multimedia storytelling. In pairs we're interviewing each other for 2 minutes about some aspect of faith. A lot of students from our major either intern at ABC 27 or WGAL. I shadowed one of my professors at a Hershey Bears game. The Bears are a local AHL hockey team, and through that experience I developed connections, and eventually I got a job there. So I run the Crossfire machine and the LEDs on game days. My freshman year at Messiah, when I first came, I knew absolutely nothing about broadcasting or media, and now I feel confident that I can go work at a TV news station.
It's a big responsibility.
Oh, it's huge. I know, it's huge.
And the salary.
Oh my god, yes. I mean,
Right?
like, I was about to move in with my parents, and right before, yeah, so this saved me.
I really believe in you, you know?
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from someone.
These are cool. Did you, what did
Good evening, Messiah, and welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm your host, Jessica Slavskis. Coming up first, we got Justin Tan on Beatboxer, who's got a bit of a following here at Messiah. And then we'll chat with the newest RD here on campus, Brody Byler. I hope you're having a great night, and stay tuned for this exciting show.
My name is Natalie Moy. I'm a senior and I'm a digital media major.
I feel like the classes here have helped me to train my eye to detect good design. I like how the professors don't force you into one way of thinking. Instead, they allow you to be creative and think of projects in your own way, and they will guide you and help you envision your project to make it even better and stronger. I have this one professor who starts off his classes with prayers, and I feel like that's really great because it starts us off reminding us that we are creating something for God, so we have that in our minds to create something that He will be pleased with. In my portfolio, I have quite a large variety of works. I have design-based works, I have photography, I have videography. One of the big projects I'll be expecting in my portfolio would be from the junior-senior film class that I'm taking this semester. I'll be the production designer for this short film, and I'm looking forward to work with my crew because they're all awesome people. Messiah has this media hub called The Pulse, so I've been working for them for the past few months, and you can do stuff like designing, photography, videography, the radio station, and you can even design websites, write articles. I think it's a really great opportunity for me to get my work out there. I'm a designer, so people on campus or even off campus get to see what I do, and I think that's really great. So if you're a digital media student, you could go into computer science fields, or you could go into the film industries or graphic design. I guess it's the beauty of digital media, it's just so versatile.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm your host, Jessica Sazaskas, and without further ado, let's hear some beatboxing from the one and only Justin Tan.
Don't litter. Don't litter. Good stuff. One more. Smells weird.
Whoa, this is strange. But I sound good. All right, I got an idea.
Let's do it.
whatever sound you want.
That's cool.
YBTV. YBTV.
Not bad.
Wow, that was impressive. Coming up, we have an exclusive interview with Justin and hear all about his beatboxing career. We'll be right back after the break.
My name is Nathan Sims. I'm a junior at Messiah, and I'm a double major in both film and media arts and Spanish. I grew up making films as a kid. I saw that Messiah had a film program, and so when I visited, I just thought this is the perfect fit. Both the theory and practical considerations here have really increased my skill set, not just in a technical sense, but also from a theoretical perspective as well. I think the biggest piece that I'll add to my portfolio before I graduate is the final film for the junior and senior film project. That'll probably be my crowning achievement because I'm working with so many other artists and other film majors, and it's just been a really great opportunity so far. I think I'm most excited to use skills I've learned in documentary class. I have to make ethical decisions in every step of the process to really come up with a strong and truthful way to tell someone else's story. I think my professors have done a really great job of being strong examples for what combining your faith and your ethics with an art form like film, what that looks like. And so the interactions have almost always been positive because they're really invested in what their students are learning. One of my most valuable experiences was my internship, where I was able to actually apply what I learned in the classroom to the real world, and I think that's a completely invaluable experience. Personally, I did my internship with the Department of Natural Resources in Maryland. One of my favorite experiences at Messiah so far has actually been the Splice Film Festival, which allows students to submit their own personal work, and being able to share the art that I created as well as my fellow classmates was absolutely beautiful. I think the market right now is very open for film and media arts majors. There's a lot of different ways that you can plug in, both at nonprofits, at regular organizations. I worked in the government, and so I think there are absolutely a lot of opportunities.
You're watching YBTV live on YouTube. Check out our channel after the show for more great content from Messiah University.
It should be fun. I love s'mores.
Me too, especially on a campfire.
The best.
Golden brown.
So people ask me what kind of companies hire electrical and computer engineers. Basically, if you plug it in or it has a battery in it, electrical engineers were involved. Every Messiah engineering student is guaranteed an internship with an on-campus organization called the Collaboratory. The Collaboratory's business model is that it pairs student teams with either faculty mentors or outside professionals to work on systems that either care for the earth or help disadvantaged people around the world. One of our more successful projects is a project that involves facilitating use of limited electric power called EMMS.
So I am the student project manager of the MMS team, and so what that means is that I head up a team of students and industry volunteers who are developing a system that makes it possible for schools and medical clinics to be able to efficiently share their limited solar power resources. Just the faculty and the way that they interact with the students to help them grow is such a powerful thing.
You're watching Falcon Update on YBTV.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. If you're just tuning in now, you missed a phenomenal performance from our guest Justin Tan. You can see it on our YouTube channel later. Justin is actually a member of the YBTV crew, and we discovered his talent during one of our shows. Justin, can you please recount that story for us?
So it was during Coffee House, and it was a few weeks ago, I believe, and I was seen performing, and so the producers asked me to come and perform here.
Wonderful, and you did an amazing job. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out. All right, now Justin, we heard that you recently went on a trip to Poland during fall break. Why was that?
Right, so I went to Poland because, first, to give some context, I'm part of a team called Beatbox International, and we are like a community-based, we started off as a YouTube channel, so we have a team running that. And so this organizer of this is the biggest beatbox event in the world, called Grand Beatbox Battle. The organizers, called Swiss Beatbox, they had a vlog competition. Basically, you send in your previous work to them, and if you won, they would fly you over to Poland and let you stay in the hotel so that you can film some behind the scenes for them. And so my team and I were joking about it, like, hey, let's just try it. And lo and behold, we won it, and we met up in Poland.
Wow, so how many members are on your team?
So there are 3 of us, one couldn't come. So we got someone else, and yeah, so 3 of us came. I'm originally from Malaysia, and my friend, his stage name is Teapot, he's from the UK. And so this was our first time meeting in person after working together for 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very long distance relationships there.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, okay, so beatboxing, the way you do takes a lot of talent. Like, how did you first start practicing and memorizing all those different noises and sounds?
Right, so I think the word in the question, practicing, right, I wouldn't say it's talent per se. It's more like, you know how people sing, you practice it, and then the more you practice, the better you get at it. Same way, some people pick it up faster than the others. But to the question, how do I practice it? Well, it's mostly just repetition. So when you like something, you will, when you're really when you find something so interesting and so intriguing, you'll be like, oh, I want to learn this, and you just practice it and practice it and practice it. So, for example, if I find like this sound, like it's a throat whistle. You can't see it because I'm wearing a mask, but I found it really cool that I could do it from my throat, and so I just practiced it for like 2 weeks. I'd have my mouth hanging open in school back in high school and just doing it. So from a distance, you'd be like, why is this guy having his jaw open like that? But yeah, so I'll just practice it. And basically, the more you do it, the better you get at it.
So you're telling me you watch something and you like a noise and you try to replicate it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to say that that's talent, per se. All right. So outside of the stage performance, you'd be, per se, called by your friends timid. Whenever you get on stage events like Coffee House that you do on campus, how do you be able to build up all that confidence to do that and to show off? And you do show off.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a timid nature. For me, a better phrasing would be I'm more reserved in that when I don't have something to say, I don't really say it. Like, I'm reserved with my words. I reserve it for when I want to say it and what I find meaningful to say. Okay. So in terms of communicating a story or doing it with confidence, when you have a message, when you have something that you're familiar with, it's very easy to communicate it. If each of us have a personal story, we can tell it with confidence because we are familiar with it. And I'm using a language that I'm familiar with, which is English and beatboxing. So when I go up on stage and I tell those stories, or when I perform, I'm basically trying to tell you a story using something that I'm familiar with, which is the language. If I had to speak like a language I wasn't familiar with, like Spanish, I would not have any confidence at all. But because I know what words and sounds I'm going to use, so I can do it with confidence.
All right. Good to know. Okay. So during your performances, you often, with your beatboxing, you involve it with your face. Can you explain that connection for us?
Yeah, so I think of what I do, everything I do, as an extension of my faith. And so beatboxing would be incorporating, or rather having beatboxing be an extension of my faith would be a given, because the way I live my life, the values I have, the way I speak, the way I think, the messages I want to send out to people, the stories I want to tell, they all would revolve around my faith. And so by incorporating faith into beatboxing, it's only natural that I do so because it's a part of me, rather than, okay, this is Justin and beatboxing, and then, oh, hey, incorporate faith in here. It's more like the other way around.
Wow, okay. Well, so thank you again so much for coming in for us as a special guest. Justin, are you performing the next Coffee House?
Well, that will be for you to find out. I don't know, but we shall see.
Okay, so you are auditioning though, right?
Perhaps.
Oh.
We shall see.
Okay.
We shall see.
When we come back, we'll hear from Fry and Oakwood resident director Brody Byler. Stay tuned for more YB Tonight after these messages.
My name is Macy Thornton. I'm a senior and I'm a public relations major. I was initially drawn to the public relations major because I've always been great with people, and the skills are very transferable. One thing that's definitely unique to Messiah is that they teach from a Christian perspective, and I've been able to use that in internships and those types of opportunities. The professors are great, they're very approachable, and they genuinely want to see you succeed. I'm involved in athletics in that I'm on the Messiah women's basketball team, and it's been one of the most enriching experiences of my life. I'm in a class called Senior PR Campaign, and we're working for an actual nonprofit organization off campus, so we're helping them with some PR related things, and it's just really great to actually put theory into practice and to feel like you're making a difference even though you're still in school. And I also had the opportunity to do an internship with a minor league baseball team. PR practitioners have to conduct themselves ethically. They have to have integrity. They have to be honest and transparent with the people they work with. So ethics is a big part of public relations. I believe Christian PR practitioners are called to hold themselves to a higher standard because of their beliefs, and that should show in their professional life. I feel very prepared with regard to the experiences I've had, the internship opportunities I've had, and the knowledge I have that the PR major has given me and the skills I've attained through it.
watching Falcon Update live on Messiah University's Yellow Breeches Television.
Hi there, and thanks for tuning in to YB Tonight. I'm your host, Jessica Zoskis, and tonight we're joined with Resident Director of Fry in Oakwood Hills, Brody Byler. How are you doing this evening?
Doing good. Thanks for having me. This is sweet.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on the show. So, what makes being an apartment RD different from being a dorm RD?
Yeah, that's a great question. The apartment RDs just are dealing with more upper class students. And they more sometimes put together. They have their already cliques in line, or their teams, or whoever it is. And so there's less first year development and more, just walking alongside, helping them cook or giving them any tips or anything like that through apartment RD life. Just different in that aspect.
Okay, all right. So your teams, like, who do you have? Do we know anybody?
So in our Fry, we have the track and field and cross country team. So I guess that's what I'm saying. They're all like clicked up, and in Oakwood, I know there's some volleyball players, and so they're kind of with their friends and their clusters over the years. So it's good to see. Yeah.
Okay. So for those who aren't familiar, Oakwood Hills is an apartment complex right outside of Messiah's campus, and the resident life is able to house people in a select number of apartments at Oakwood. What is it like to also oversee Oakwood Hills?
Yeah, Oakwood is his own animal for sure. You kind of have to be in constant communication with Krista Green, who's the director there, and Bryce Watkins is the housing director here. And so, just a lot of communication, lots of emails of just making sure that everything is running smoothly. The police kind of also has jurisdiction over there, so it's just constant communication between campus police and then the actual police if there's any other, just any conduct things that could come up. But,
has there been a need for any police this semester?
No, there hasn't, no.
Well, that's good to know. So, has there been any interesting situations that have happened during your time as an RD besides police involvement? Or if there is some police involvement, that's a cool story too.
Interesting things. I'm trying to think. They're really just a lot of cool team environments with the different clusters on the floors. So, it's just been good to be living on campus and like walking alongside students who are upperclassmen and trying to figure out life. And so I've just been enjoying going on runs or having dinners or whatever, getting to know residents. So it's been good.
Awesome. So typically there isn't much socialization happening between rooms on the on-campus apartments compared to the way it often is in dorms. As an RD, how are you able to create a sense of community with that in mind?
Yeah, that's great. A lot of it is just continuing to reach out and to knock on the doors. I really encourage my residents' assistants to host these events. We'll do pancake morning breakfast events, or we did a worship night about a month ago and another dessert night. And so just trying to get upperclassmen out of their dorms, their apartments. But it's difficult. They already kind of have their routines, they're set in stone, things that they like to do. And so just trying to love them best by having events, but knowing that that's always an option for them. So, yeah.
How are you guys handling events with COVID protocols and everything?
Yeah, so far, thankfully, the weather has been really good, and so the worship night was completely outside, and so, just doing things to socially distance and, outside as we can. I'm sure the winter will be a completely different animal, and so we'll just kind of roll with the punches and, just do what we can do to keep our students safe, and, just also having this, like, holistic environment that can be fun and enticing for upperclassmen students to join. So, yeah.
Wonderful. So I understand that you're involved with Messiah Athletics. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah. So my official title is actually Graduate Assistant Residence Director, and so I still have eligibility through the COVID wormhole in 2020. I ran outdoor track at Lipscomb University, which is in Nashville, Tennessee, and through just the means of the way God works, He kind of led me up to Messiah and got the ability to continue that eligibility for another year, and now this is the second year. So this is my 6th year of track and field this upcoming spring, and it's just fun to be a part of the team and to run, so really have been grateful for it.
Wow, all right. So that's wonderful. So as an RA, is there anything that you wish that students knew about you being an RD?
Is there any can you go into more detail about like?
Is there anything that they don't know that you do or handle?
Yeah. I do a morning Sunrise Slayers group, and so just getting up on Tuesday mornings at about 6:59 a.m., reading with a couple residents who want to get into the Word and study the Bible. And so, yeah, I want to keep doing stuff like that, and I'm excited to, forever, however long I stay here, to continue to do, just scripture readings and Sunrise Slayers with partnering with Aroma and then also Res Life. And so, yeah, really good.
Wow, good for you. How do you think you being an RD and your years of experience at Messiah is going to help you in the workforce after college?
That's a great question. Still figuring that out. Don't really know where the Lord is going to lead. It could be doing full-time resident directing here or elsewhere. It could be doing coaching through athletics. Really just trying to keep my hands open, and through the many different experiences that I've had, hoping that He just equips me to whatever that door is that I walk through. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on tonight. We really appreciate it. And thank you again, Justin Tan, for that amazing beatbox performance earlier this evening. If you want to check out more of our show, make sure to go to our YouTube channel with lots of great content. Thank you for tuning in to YB Tonight. My name's Jessica Sazaskis, and have a great night.